Padlet is an amazing web-based collaboration tool. You don't have to install any software. Although you can use this tool in a business environment, but this is most suited for school teachers. And in a nutshell, teachers create a bulletin board where students can discuss any topic thrown by the teacher, or they can showcase their work, and there could be many other activities which can be performed in an online class environment, which is only limited by your own creativity because there are so many ways you can use Padlet. The core of Padlet applications are the layouts or the formats which you can use for creating those bulletin boards. These are total 8 layouts which I have listed here. If you understand how to use these 8 layouts and then you use your own creativity, you can engage your students even if you are teaching them remotely and you never see them in physical classroom environment. Because this tool engages students, you will get their attention, you will involve them in classroom activities. And in this video, I'm going to show you examples of 5 of these 8 layouts. And 3 of them I will cover in the next video because otherwise video will become very long. And the intention of making this video is that when you look at these Padlet examples, they will spark some new ideas in your brain depending on your own situation or your own subjects, and then you will create some more amazing lessons for your online classes. So let's get started after a short break. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tahir and I make videos about online education technology tools for students and teachers. If you are interested in this topic, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video on this channel. I have seen that most teachers, they start from wall layout, but I'm going to start from timeline layout because I think that this is the layout which will immediately grab the attention of your students. When you start a new session, you can show them few timelines, and a timeline is simply a period of time where you show few things in a chronological order, and that period could be very short period. For example, a single day agenda of a meeting you can show at 10 p.m. This will happen at 12 p.m. We will take lunch and so on. Or it could be few weeks, few months, or even hundreds of years. And now teachers are discovering new strategies and new ways to use timeline to engage their online students. So the first example, when you start a new session, you should show your students an introductory timeline of this session. When the study is going to start, when there will be a library tour, when will there be an excursion, when will be a parent-teachers meeting, and when the holidays will start. After showing this timeline, you show them another timeline, which is the timeline of birthdays of all of your students. And you will grab their attention immediately. When they will see their faces, a date is written on there, and you ask them to remember this date for your colleagues and so and so. Now you are getting their interest in timeline, in Padlet, and of course you have to tell them how to use Padlet. It is very simple. I have made one video before that, that is for beginners, and if you are absolute beginner, that at the end of this video I will jump on my computer and I will again show you quickly how to use Padlet. And some very important tips, because in free Padlet account you get only 3 Padlets and you should use them efficiently. Now the next timeline you are going to show to your students is the timeline of the lifespan of a scientist. And here is one example. This is the timeline of Edison, and on this timeline I am showing all of his inventions and the year. You show your students why you are putting the references to the source of these images. What is the importance of copyright? What is a Creative Commons image, a public domain image? I have used all these images which are taken from public domain. So you tell your students these very important things about Creative Commons and about copyright issues, and then finally you ask them to choose a scientist or an author, and then ask them to create a similar timeline of the lifespan of that scientist or author, showing his inventions or his books or any other literature work. And by this time they will be excited and they will be eager to make their own timeline. and this way you will engage them with your class. Now the next example I'm going to show you is the shelf layout of Padlet, and in this layout you have columns, and in those columns you put your content. Now the first example is a chart known as KWL chart. K means known. What is known about any topic? So you create 3 columns. In the first column you write down what do you know about this topic, and in the second column what you want to know about this, and in the third column you will ask your students what you have learned about this. And the plan is that you show them this chart 1 week before you are going to deliver that topic, and even 2 weeks before that you will be showing them another Padlet which I am going to explain next, which is the wall layout. You will start from wall 2 weeks before the delivery of the topic. Then in the next week you show them this shelf. They fill the first 2 columns, and the last column they will fill after you have delivered that topic. Because from first 2 columns you will get an understanding of how your students are familiar with that topic and what are their interests. So you will tweak your lecture a little bit before the final delivery, then you deliver the lecture, and finally you ask your students to fill the third column. So these are little things which will make a huge difference in your teaching style and the way you engage your students. Now another example of shelf layout could be that, for example, you are teaching Pythagoras theorem, and during the class you want to take a quick quiz. So what you can do is that you put the name of the students in column 1, and then you make 3 columns for base, perpendicular and hypotenuse, and you fill 2 entries and leave the third for the students to fill. This is just one example. You can create your own examples. Another use of shelf is that, for example, in primary schools specifically, I would suggest that you should be changing the class arrangement frequently so that students get engaged with other colleagues as well. So if you have name of your students in a Padlet, in a shelf Padlet, you can quickly create the arrangement of your classroom, and then if you want to change it at any time, which you should, you can quickly shuffle within few seconds and you can change the arrangement of your class and advise your students to sit accordingly. So this is just an application. Of course this can be done in many ways, but I think this is the quickest way. And now let's talk about wall. Wall is the most commonly used layout of Padlet. But in my opinion, the main usage of this wall layout is for discussions, for showcasing, and for file sharing. Let us see an example. And the game plan I have written on this slide, which I have already described, that you give a topic for discussion, which I am going to show you with an example. So let us see the example first. In this example, you ask your students to post about World War II, and they can post a video or they can post an article. Ask them to search in Google or in any search engine, find an article, place a link, or find a YouTube video about World War II and paste a link. So now they will paste all these links, and then you also give them some instructions that if they are still reading that article, they should also put on the post that they are still reading. And when they have completed the reading, they should tell you accordingly. Give them a deadline of 1 week, and this should be 2 weeks before the actual topic you want to deliver about World War II. And then in the next week, you present them a shelf Padlet, they fill 2 columns, and in the next week, you deliver the topic. So this is how they can get engaged with the teacher and communicate. Another usage is that if they have created some work in another software, for example, you have given them an assignment to create a design in Canva, you can ask them to share their designs with their colleagues. You are absent from that Padlet, they are only communicating with their colleagues. Similarly, another use is the file sharing, because Padlet allows you to share the files, and file sharing is very important. If, for example, they have recorded some audio response to your question, your discussion, they can share their audio file. You can share your audio files or video files. So these are some of the usages of wall. Now the next I want to talk about is the grid layout. In this layout, I would like to show you 2 examples. One is that when you want to share a story, a digital storytelling. For example, in this Padlet, I have shown few images of a life cycle of an ant. In grid layout, you have columns and rows. You can select the last post should be at the top or at the end, but you cannot change them. You only have limited control. So therefore you have to pre-decide how you want to use it. Another very important use of grid is that when you start a session, you can use this as an icebreaker. Create a grid and put the name of your students and then ask them to take a selfie, because they can allow Padlet to access their cameras and then they can take a selfie and they can post in their post. So you can also use grid in this way as well. And now the fifth layout and the final for this video is the canvas layout. Grid is the most restrictive and canvas is the most flexible layout. And if you look in the settings, you will not even find the setting for the last post in the beginning or at the end, because in canvas you have the flexibility to move your posts. Now here is an example of how you should use canvas. If you want to bring your students into a brainstorming session, so what you can do is that, for example, near the end of your course, you can select a main topic, then you can select some subtopics. There are numerous ways you can use canvas. Let's say that you create all posts yourself, main topic, subtopics, and then you give a hint on those posts as well. And as you can see in this example, I am showing level 1, level 2, level 5. And this is the hierarchy of the topics. I am showing you just level 1, level 2 to explain to you. But when you create this Canvas Padlet, you should put actual topics and their level in the hierarchy. For example, you will say main topic, level 1. This is the next heading, level 2. This is another heading, level 2, and so on. Then you ask your students to try to think and try to make a relationship between any two or any three, or try to put them in a hierarchical manner. So this will increase their understanding of the things, of the whole subject area, of the whole topic. So this will increase their comprehension of the topic, and this can be done with students of any level, even in higher education. This is such a wonderful application. And then finally, once they have all connected 2 or 3 blocks or 4 blocks, then you can see their progress, and then you can finally drive their thoughts to the actual hierarchy of the topic and explain few things to them. And now the remaining layouts we will discuss in the next video. And now for the beginners, I will jump on my computer and I will show you few more tips. Now I have logged into my Padlet account, and they say that they allow only 3 Padlets, but they are allowing me 5 Padlets in this. So I can show you how to create a Padlet. So you click on make a Padlet, and then these are the 8 layouts which we were talking about. Let us select this timeline. This is the point where you put the title and a little description. If you want to select an icon, you click here and you can put any icon here. Let's say this one, and it will be unselected and icon will appear here. You can insert your own image as well. Then you go back, and in this area you can select the wallpaper. There are solid colors available if you like, just like that, or gradients. You can select texture or patterns as well. This is very popular pattern. Then you can select fonts. As I select this, you can see that fonts are changing. Very simple. Now these are few settings which you should take into consideration. For example, if you want to show the author name, you click this, and I like this. If you want to allow comments, and depending on your grades, sometimes you might want to enable the approval process where students will be able to post, but you will have to approve them. And depending on your grade, you can also replace few words. You click on next, and then it will show you this message: you are all set, post to your heart's content. Now you can close this. Now if you click on this plus, you can title a post and whatever you want to write here. By clicking on that, you can upload any image, and if you click on this, you can put a link. This is to enable your camera. And then there are 3 dots. You have many other options. You can upload, you can record an audio by giving access to your microphone. You can record a video with your camera. You can insert a YouTube video, a GIF, or you can web search. Let us say I want to put an article about World War II. I just select this web. So these are some articles. So let's say select this article. It will be placed here. And now I will click on this Padlet and I will show you one of my Padlets. Click on that. These are my Padlets. This is the one I created for this video. So I click on that. This is my initial post, and in response to my post where I told my students to insert some articles, and my student, actually there is only one account I am using other than my teacher's account, but assume that these are 4 of my students, so I can see their name here. So that's why I suggest you ask your students to sign up with Padlet. Otherwise they can simply type their name. And the way you share this is you simply click on this share and then you copy this link, which you can email to your students. You can get a QR code which they can scan with their smartphones and they will land on this Padlet straight away, and they can participate in the discussion and other activities. Now, the last tip I would like to show you is that if you click on these 3 dots and let us say that you have reached the limit of your 3 or 5 free Padlets. So what you do is you clear all posts and it will keep the setting of your Padlet and it will only clear the posts. And if you want to delete the Padlet, you can also delete it from here as well. So the best option is to clear all posts and start putting new posts. And if you want to change the layout of your Padlet, you do here. Change format and then select any other format. So this is how you change the format. If you want to modify the title, you just double click here and it will open this. You can change the background, you can change the title and the description. So I think this is enough for you to start using Padlet. And the rest I have already explained in the beginning of this video. If you still need help or I have missed something, watch my other video. I have only one video before this about Padlet. You can search on my channel and you will find that video. So that is it for this video. I hope you like this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and share with your colleagues, because that will help this video to reach more people. Thanks for watching and see you next time.